presents Lincoln College Basketball on 88.9 FM and streaming live from the iHeartRadio app.
Hi, and welcome to St. Xavier University, where your Lynx are in town. Again, we left probably about 9:45 this morning. I'm Nick Jackson, bringing it to you live. Lincoln College Basketball right here from over break on 89X. Again, the Lynx come in 9-6 on the season. They are winners of their last three, and it's been a good one here. We went down on the road to Missouri, took on Missouri Valley. That was a battle-tested game here for these guys, and then all of a sudden had to go to Missouri S&T, a D2 school, and ended up waxing them down there. Again, blew them out there. And then finally, a couple nights ago, had to play Robert Morris on the home floor and just took it to them, as Robert Morris took a beating in that one. 98-64 was the final. The Lynx could not get over that 100-point mark, but again, might have a chance to do it again here today. Again, their team that they're going to be playing, the Cougars of St. Xavier, come in at 5-8 on the season, 3-3 in the Chicagoland Conference. But the one key factor, though, you don't have to look out for, just 1-5 right here on their home floor, and that win they picked up last night against Robert Morris, the same Robert Morris team that we played this past week. So both teams coming off a big win against Robert Morris, as St. Xavier beat the Eagles 99-93. So like I mentioned, this is a St. Xavier team that comes in averaging over 85 points per contest. They know how to score the basketball. They have a lot of key shooters. So that's really going to be the concept here tonight, to see if the Lynx can kind of stay on the perimeter and kind of keep a hand in the face. However, last time against Robert Morris, though, every player for this Lynx squad was in double figures, and that does include Trayvon Tyler, who did not play in the second half due to 2 technical fouls in that ballgame. He still finished with 12 points and 6 rebounds on the night. Our leading scorer, though, however, was Julian Powell. He was 1 rebound shy of a double-double. He had 21 and 9. Also had 4 assists to go along with that as well. So the big man getting the passing game going here down low. It kind of starts with the inside-out game that Lep has kind of been building into our system a time or two. Also, Latham and Johnson both finished with 14 points on the night, and Crumble had 10 to go along with 4 assists in that ball game. But one thing I have to mention, though, the Lynx did particularly well in that one, is the fact that I mentioned all the assists, that we had 22 assists in that ball game the other night against Robert Morris. So the basketball was moving around all kinds of places, from the corner to the top of the key. The Lynx really had a lot of great ball movement here in that one. So they're going to have that as well again here today. Another key fact that the Lynx did well is they forced 27 turnovers against Robert Morris in that ball game. So they're going to have to do the same thing here again tonight against St. Xavier, to see if they can come out with their second victory here against St. Xavier so far. Again, with that being said, here in this one, the last time we saw St. Xavier, that was back on October 27th, where the Lynx came up with a victory 82-73. As we're going to take a quick break for the national anthem, we'll have starters and more stats coming back when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You guys are listening to Lincoln College Basketball right here on 89X.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom. We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty. Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Lincoln Lynx are in town again, taking on the Cougars here so far today. Again, they're only 1-5 coming into this ball game, but let's not waste any more time. Let's meet the starters here for both teams. First, for the visiting team here in this one, it is your Lincoln Lynx, as LJ Johnson will get the start here again today. Again, still no Trayvon Tyler, so Montez Crumble going to be the point here in this one. And since we don't have Tyler, we will have J.J. Turner making his start here in this one. We've seen him in the starting lineup before for Coach Lepp, but since then kind of had some big games from Powell. So Turner gets the start off for coming off the bench here today, and he's in the starting lineup, followed by Julian Powell. He's going to be the big man down low, and now the starting lineup here for the Cougars here in this one. Not much has changed from we saw him last, but again, some difficulties here as we're going to have number 20, Jack Brody, followed by number 24, Josh Nego, followed by number 21, Mike Shepsky, and number 40, Jack Halverson. And rounding out the starting five here for the Cougars is going to be number 41, Ryan Saninas, as he gets his first start of the season here today. One thing you're going to have to look out for here for the Cougars on their home floor is the last time we saw these guys, or the last time they saw us, Shepsky had a big game. He had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists, going 4 for 10 from behind the arc against the Lynx here in this one, followed by Jack Brody as well. Again, he's been here a while. He's one of the leading scorers all time here for St. Xavier. He dropped 13 and 7 to go along with 2 assists and 36 minutes against the Lynx here back in the Jack D. Nunn Arena on October 27th. But, however, though, some good news for St. Xavier is the fact that we did not see Nego the first time we played. And he came out with 21 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists in 37 minutes against Robert Norris in yesterday's contest. He is in the starting lineup here today. However, though, St. Xavier has not seen L.J. Johnson in the ball game, so this will be the first time they will have seen Johnson. And they will have the first possession of this basketball game. With that being said, it is Shepsky with it at the top of the key, swinging it to the right side. Now for Halverson. Back to Shepsky. Shepsky now back. He'll find Nego in the left side corner. Nego to Brody. Brody on the left wing, back to the top of the key. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. He hands it right back off to Halverson. To Brody, and Nego, who takes the long three from the top of the key. His shot clock was winding down, no good. Crumble pulls down the board for the Lynx. They are in the road black uniforms here today with purple lettering and numbering. As Johnson with the top of the key drives right side lane, puts it up off the glass. No, but Julian Powell with the putback, and count it as the Lynx on the board first here, 2-0. So here come the Cougars now back down the opposite direction. Nego at the top of the key looks right to Halverson, swinging around now to Shepsky. Shepsky drives baseline, kicks it out to the top of the key. Has to be saved by Brody from going backcourt violation now to Saninas, who takes the three. No. Powell tips it into the hands of J.J. Turner, and here come the Lynx yet again. They lead it 2-0. Turner now with it, drives in left side lane, almost got it bobbled. Kicks it back out, though, and saves it from going out of bounds to Latham Jr. Jr. now with it at the top of the key, looks left for Turner. Turner trying to feed the big man down low. Turnaround double teamed was Powell, but turnaround fader no good. It hits the front of the rim and out. Here come the Cougars now out of the rebound. And a very good shooting team here, so anything for space, and they will kind of drain you just like that, as Nego from the corner misses the wide open three, but the ball's tipped in the hands. He gets it right back on the left side corner, and now we're going to have an offensive foul in favor of J.J. Turner standing in there and taking the charge, as Nego kind of lowered the shoulder there just a little bit, and kind of ironic as Turner was talking with the assistant coach, Ed McGee, for the Lynx, saying how if he lowered his shoulder, that would have been a charge every time. And McGee was saying it would have been a bad officiating, but Turner got his way here as he takes the charge in the first couple minutes of this ball game. 2-0 now in favor as Crumble drives in baseline, and it's going to have it knocked out of bounds as he went up for that up and under move. It'll stay with the Lynx, though, as they'll inbound with 15 seconds underneath their own basket. And Latham set to inbound, trying to find L.J. Johnson. He'll set a screen, though, for Turner. Look for Powell maybe on the lob. Instead, they find Johnson in the right side corner. Johnson now with it on the right wing, takes a step back three, trying to size up his man. No, off the side of the rim and out. Rebounded by the Cougars, and here they come now back the other way. In transition, that was Shepsky who takes the long three, no good. Rebounded by Crumble. Crumble has the options as he finds Johnson. Johnson power dribbles one down low baseline and knocks it through. So Johnson on the board now with his first basket here. It's 4-0 Lincoln. 17 and a half minutes to play in this first half. The Cougars with the basketball. As now Nago trying to drive baseline, picks up his dribble, takes a shot, and gets a few bounces off the rim, but still can't get it to go as Turner pulls down the board for the Lynx. Pushing the pace is now Johnson in transition. Instead, he's going to slow it up and set up the offense. Turner with it at the top of the key now. He's looking to the right side and finds Latham Jr. on the wing. Jr. bounce passes one down low to Powell. Powell working right side lane, turn around left hook. No good as it was just short as the Cougars will pull down the rebound, and here they come back the opposite direction. Shepsky now over Crumble, takes a step back jumper, and he knocks it down. So Shepsky coming in red hot. So far this season, he's making his 9th start in 8 games. He's got the first basket here for the Cougars. It's 4-2. Latham Jr. now with it on the left wing. No Trayvon Tyler, so look for him to kind of create it for himself as he does right there. Takes a step back jumper, no good. Long rebound into the hands of J.J. Turner, but he can't run it down before it goes out of bounds. And it is going to be Cougar basketball. So the Lynx definitely playing aggressive here in this one. One thing I'd have to say, though, for Coach Lepp's squad, some of the keys to winning for them, they're going to have to win on the offensive and defensive side of the glass. They're going to have to really out-rebound this St. Xavier team. They're much bigger size. Also, they're going to have to get in their hands in the face of some of these shooters because the Cougars really do know how to shoot the basketball as they feed the big man down low. Turnaround right hook is good there for Jack Halverson, and it's 4-4 now with 16 minutes left to play in this first half. The last key for this Lynx squad is effort, and I've bolded it and underlined it and had an exclamation point as Crumble drives left side lane, has it batted out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Lynx underneath their own basket. But I underlined effort because that's really what it's going to take for this Lynx squad to get the job done here today. Again, if they play with all the effort that they have, it should be no problem, but we've seen when they kind of a little lackadaisical at times, the effort is not there as Latham Jr. now takes a step back three from the left wing, no good, into the hands of the Cougars. As it's 4-4, 15 and a half minutes left to play in the first half. Cougars with the basketball. As now Halverson from the top of the arc yet again gets a friendly roll, but it could not get it to bounce out as Latham Jr. will bring it up the floor off the rebound by Turner. Crumble now with it on the right wing, back to Turner at the top of the key. And 4 players on one side as Turner trying to drive in left side lane, picks up his dribble, and is going to have a traveling violation right here in this one. Turner just kind of slid his pivot foot just a tiny bit, and that's going to get the officials' eyes every time. That's going to give the ball right back to the Cougars. 4-4 is our score as the Cougars will have the basketball. But Turner, making up for his mistake, steals that one right away, has a one-on-one fast break, and he'll just lay it up and in for the easy 2. As, again, Jack Brody was there to kind of corral that one, but again, he let Turner have the easy 2 right there. 6-4 now in favor of the Lynx. Shepsky with it at the top of the key, looks left. Now for Nago. Nago on the wing, back to the top of the key, swinging it back to Shepsky. Shepsky guarded by Crumble. He's double teamed over to, looks like Sananis in the corner for 3. No. Powell pulls down the huge board here for the Lynx, and outlets now to Crumble. Crumble to Turner. Turner has a lane inside, drives in, right side, puts it up off the left, though, up and under move, and Turner has got another one right here. He's got 4 out of the 8 so far. As now another 3 from Ryan Saninas from the right side corner, knocks it down, and it's 8-7 as the Lynx coming back rather quickly. So the Cougars answered with the 3, but Johnson from downtown, he was feeling it, and no, Powell couldn't pull down that board. That one goes to Halverson, and Turner almost pulled up a steal right there. Instead, Shepsky going to bring it up the floor here for the Cougars. Stops at the top of the key, trying to bounce pass one down low to Halverson. He kind of backs out Powell a little bit to the corner now, and Saninas, who takes the 3 this time from the left corner. No, Turner was there for a rebound. Instead, can't corral it. Ends up, I believe, into the hands of Shepsky, who takes the mid-range jumper and knocks it down, and the Cougars have their first lead of the ball game, 9-8. And Shepsky, he had, again, 17 in the loss against the Lynx last time, so a very good shooter. Going to have to keep his hands up as well as now Latham Jr. drives in, has an opening in the right side lane, puts it off the glass and can't get it to go. Otherwise, should have been pretty easy there. The Cougars coming back in transition, and that one is Brody for 3. No, but we're going to have, I believe, an over and back call there on Julian Powell. And they will say it goes on Powell. So that'll be his first, team's first here in the half as well. DeAndre Freeman and Isaiah Bowers check into the ball game for the first time. They'll get Johnson and Latham Jr. here in this one. Also, I believe Chris Sozek checked in as well for the Cougars as they throw it right into Jack Brody off the inbounds, and he'll lay it up and in. 11-8 is our score, followed by Jacob Strong, who also checked into the ball game for his first playing time. Came in for Shepsky and Nago as the Cougars lead at 11-8, but the Lynx have the basketball here with just under 13 minutes to play in the first half as Bowers trying to feed one down low to Powell, but again, it was tipped out of bounds. So they are going to say Lynx basketball here. I thought they gave Isaiah Bowers a foul for a second, but they were just saying that it's only 20 seconds on the shot clock as they throw it into Freeman. Freeman now over to Crumble. Crumble trying to drive in left side lane. Instead kicks it out to Turner. Turner from the top of the key for 3. No. Off the rim and out as the rebound's pulled down by the Cougars. They lead it 8-11 as Jacob Strong trying to go in. Saves it from getting his own miss. That ball still tipped there all the way around. Somehow finds Shozek. And now he's trapped at the top of the court. And he's trying to look for somebody. He finds Halverson on the right side lane. Or wing. Back to the top of the key in Saninas, who takes the 3. No. Tipped back up by, I believe, Brody. No good. Into the hands of Powell. Powell outlets now to Crumble. Crumble has Freeman in the corner, who thought about 3 instead. Drives baseline, puts it up off the glass, and gets that one to go. So DeAndre Freeman on the board here. But the Lynx cannot get back in transition as Ryan Saninas is going to throw down a monster slam because Powell and the rest of this Lynx team cannot get back in time. 13-10 now, under 12 minutes to play in this first half. Lynx trail by 3 as they trailed at halftime back on October 27th, as well as Crumble puts up a floater off the front of the rim and out. Can't get pulled down the rebound, though, is Saninas. The Lynx, they trailed by 5 at the end of the first half in the Jack D. Nutt Arena as Saninas from downtown. No. Pulled down by Freeman, and here they come back in transition. Freeman's going to wait for the rest of his Lynx team to get back down the floor. Again, Powell looks a little winded here as Freeman with a little behind-the-back move. Bounce passes one to Turner at the top of the key. Turner drives into the paint, kicks it out to Crumble. Crumble from the left wing and buries a 3 right there. As that's the first 3 of the ball game here for the Lynx, and they tied it up at 13. 11:15 left to play in this first half. We're all square. Cougars with the basketball as they feed, looks like Shozek down low. He can't hit the up and under move as Freeman pulls down the rebound. He's trying to run in transition. Doesn't have the numbers, though, as he finds Crumble. Crumble might have got away with a walk right there. And instead, he's on the left wing, and he's going to point Bowers in the right direction and set up this Lynx offense. Crumble now swinging it to the left corner for Freeman, trying to feed Powell down low. Here comes the late double team by Jacob Strong, and it's stolen away by the Cougars. They are in transition. They have numbers 3-on-1, fast break, as Strong couldn't hit the easy layup there, but it did look like Halverson was there for the putback. 15-13 now in favor of the Cougars here for St. Xavier. In St. Xavier, they're coming off their first home victory against the University of Robert Morris. And that one, 99-93 here in that one on their home floor. Crumble with it on the right wing. Over to Bowers, down low to Turner. Turner just a tad too strong as Powell pulls down the offensive board, trying to kick it out to Turner. Instead, finds Crumble back on the right wing. Fakes the 3 by Strong. Instead, puts up the floater. No good. Turner puts it back, kicks it back out. But instead, corralled by the Cougars as Jacob Strong, an outlet now in transition. Looks like he's got Saninas now once again from downtown. No good. About 360 the whole way and couldn't fall for him right there. 15-13 now as the Lynx coming back the opposite direction. And no Trayvon Tyler in this ballgame. That could be a huge loss for this Lynx team down the stretch. Tyler plays nearly about 37 to 38 minutes a ball game, sometimes all 40, as Crummel within the right side corner kicks it back out to Freeman. 7 seconds now on the shot clock. He gets a screen from Turner at the top of the key, trying to drive in left side lane. Here comes the double team out to Turner. Turner at the top of the key as the shot clock expired, and he knocks it down. J.J. Turner from downtown, and that gives the Lynx the lead, 16-15, 9:15 left to play in this first half. Cougars back the other way trying to answer. This has been a back-and-forth game all game long. As now Trozek has it. He's guarded by Bowers. Bowers with some good defense, really moving his feet as of right now, and now we're going to have a foul going against Isaiah Bowers. So we're going to have some more substitutions coming in. Here comes L.J. Johnson, Roy Nesbitt, and Tyrone Wright in for Crumble, Powell, and Turner. And those three all-starters taking a seat for the first time this ball game. As now Freeman read it all the way, stole it off the inbounds. He's going to go coast to coast. Thought about a dunk. Instead, just kind of lays it up there for an easy 2. But Freeman back on the board right there. He's got 4 so far here in this one. And you talk about somebody who's really taking advantage of Trayvon Tyler being out is DeAndre Freeman, as Jack Brody from downtown answers from the left corner. And we're tied at 18. Here comes the Lynx back the opposite direction. Bowers with it in the left side corner. Finds Tyrone Wright. Look for Wright to have a big day here as he finds Johnson on the right wing. Give and go with Tyrone Wright. Back out to Bowers. Bowers from the corner trying to answer. No. Nesbitt can't pull down the board. And the Lynx trying to get back on defense. Here come the Cougars now. As looks like Halverson yet again wide open for 3. This time he was way off on that one, pulled down by Wright, and here come the Lynx. We're tied at 18, 8 minutes left to play in this first half. Wright trying to feed Nesbitt down low. He's working on Halverson, turn around, left hook, no good, just a tad too strong as it's into the hands of the Cougars yet again. Drew Bishop also into the ball game here for the Cougars as he has it right now and takes the jumper and no off the back iron as Freeman and Bowers both trying to pull down the same board. Freeman ends up getting it. He's trying to go right into the lane, kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson from the wing, and you know it. He knocks down the long-range 3 from the right wing, and the Lynx retake the lead, 21-18. Now Johnson's got 5 here so far in the ballgame as Latham Jr. goes to the scores table for his first minutes along with Jeffrey Mayberry here for the Cougars as Strong now has it to Halverson at the top of the key. He's guarded by Nesbitt. Swinging it to the left side as to find Strong, but instead it ends up into the hands of Sorzak. Sorzak trying to drive baseline, kicks it back out to Brody. Brody from downtown, and you know it. Jack Brody is going to be going to hit that every time if you leave him open like that. I mean, he's one of the all-time leading scorers here in St. Xavier basketball history. Under 7 minutes to play now, 21-21. We're all tied. Lynx with the basketball. Kind of interesting setup they got going on here. A lot different when your leader, Trayvon Tyler, is not here. As Johnson now trying to drive in, be the leader of this team, and he lays it up and in off the left hand. And we've seen Johnson be able to drop 30 at some point, so look for him to kind of get things started, especially with Trayvon Tyler not being here today. Maybe even Latham Jr. Those two really going to have to get going and get the scoring going here for this Lynx team. As Halverson from downtown, no long rebound into the hands of Freeman. 23-21 in favor of the Lynx as Johnson now with it on the right wing. He's guarding his man, trying to feed Wright down low instead. Brody was doing a good job of him down low. Now Freeman down low to Wright. Wright up and under move. No. A foul, I believe the first shooting foul here in this ball game. As the foul is going to go on Jack Brody. So that's going to be his second, team's second here in the half. Both teams are now at 2 fouls apiece. That's going to send Tyrone Wright to the line. As the first one no good. And kind of interesting here is Wright, in warm-ups today, he hit about 7 threes in a row from this, just moving around all around the perimeter. So gotta like what you're seeing from Tyrone Wright. He's a big guy that can give you the inside threat, but also you leave him open around the perimeter, he'll make you pay as well. Does knock down the second one, so 1 of 2 from the line, and it's a 24-21 ball game in favor of your Lincoln Lynx with just under 6 minutes to play. As they hand it off now to Harold Davis, who just checked in. As now there's a three from the corner. No good there by Drew Bishop for the Cougars. As he tried to answer, Lynx pull it down and try to run in transition. As now L.J. Johnson starting to find his rhythm and take over this ball game. As Bishop is going to be called for that foul. That's going to be his first, team's third, as that's now going to put L.J. Johnson to the line for 2 shots. And Johnson, he's been at the line a few times here in this one. Also had a lot of pretty big games at the free throw line. His first free throw, though, hits the front of the rim, knocks to the left and out. As it looks like we're going to see Mike Shepsky back into the ball game. He came in for Bishop here in this one. 24-21, Lynx lead by 3. Trying to make it 4 right here is L.J. Johnson at the free throw line. Does knock down that one. And 1 of 2 again go the Lynx as they lead it by 4. 25-21, 5.5 minutes left to play in this first half. Here come the Cougars back the other way. Davis now with it. Over to Shepsky. He's on the left wing, guarded by Freeman. Trying to find Strong at the top of the key, but Latham is there. They do give it to Strong. Strong now with it at the top of the key, trying to drive in left side by Latham. Out to Davis, and he will knock down the 3 from the corner. And it's a 1-point game as now here come the Lynx in transition rather quickly. Freeman finds Latham Jr. in the corner, back to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Davis. He takes a step back jumper and sizes up his man and knocks it down. So L.J. Johnson with the dirty work right there. And he's going to have to get things going here as they left the man wide open in the corner for 3. That was Swarzak, but instead he cannot hit, and it's rebounded by the Lynx. Here they come now, Latham Jr. in transition, and we're going to have a double dribble as Latham Jr. trying to drive in amongst the trees down low and was called for the double dribble. So a turnover, and the Cougars will get the ball right back with 5 minutes left to play in this first half as they trail by 3, 27-24 to your Lynx. Jacob Strong now with it, trying to drive into the paint. Instead feeds Atterbury, kicks it out to the corner now for, I believe, this one was Swarzak, and this time he knocks down the wide open jumper. So again, this Coach Lepp's squad leaving the key shooters open so far, and that's not what we talked about the keys to winning. You're going to have to get the hands inside the shooters' faces there in that one, as Freeman cannot put up the floater and get that one to fall. And here come the Cougars back the other way. We're tied at 27 as Swarzak again from the same corner. No, this time the board pulled down by Tyrone Wright. And yet again, this quick offense here for the Cougars. And Montez Crumble and Julian Powell come to the scorer's table here for the Lynx as they're going to check in at the next dead ball. We got 4 minutes left. We're tied at 27 here in the first half. As L.J. Johnson now with it at the top of the key, looking to drive into the left side lane instead. Takes a mid-range jumper from the free throw line. No. Good defense there by the Cougars as they outlet now to Strong. Strong trying to drive in, kicks it back out to Swarzak. Swarzak from downtown, no. As I believe we're going to have an over and back called on Tyrone Wright. As him and Mayberry were down there fighting for the rebound and kind of reached right over the top of them, and that's not going to be a no-go. As Julian Powell, Crumble, and Turner all check in as they go for Johnson, Wright, and Nesbitt. So Latham and Freeman will stay back out there. They do say a fresh 30 on the shot clock as it did hit the rim before it was a foul. 3:40 left to play. We're tied at 27 as they throw it into Mayberry. Back out now to Davis. Davis with it on the right wing. He's guarded by Latham Jr. He's looking for Shepsky. Hands it off to him. Kind of a bad pass. Gives it back to him. Thought about a 3. Instead drives in right side lane. Puts up a floater. And no, can't get that one to go. Mayberry just mistimed his jump. Otherwise, that might have been another 2 there for the Cougars. Instead, Freeman pulls down the board. And the Lynx going to run it back up the floor as we're tied at 27. Latham Jr. now with it on the left wing. Him, Powell, Turner, Crumble, and Freeman on the floor here for the Lynx. Is Freeman with it in the right side corner. Down low to Turner. Turner kicks it back out to Crumble. Swinging it around to Latham Jr. Instead he falls, and it's going to be into the hands of Jacob Strong. Outlet now to Swarzak. He's got a 2-on-2 as he turn around right-hand hook over Freeman. No good. He kind of mistimed it there a little bit. He had Harold Davis as he finds now Latham Jr. running in transition. That was Freeman as he goes coast to coast there and trying to lay it up and in. 4-2 he could not. However, though, he was fouled as a foul is going to go on, I believe, Shepsky. So that's going to be his first, team's 4th. Latham Jr. at the line. Knocks down the first one here for the Lynx, and I'd have to say this is probably the Lynx' best free throw shooter right here in this one, as he's going to have one more coming. The second one knocks down as well, so 2 or 2 from the line as Coach Lev was still huddling the other 4. So Latham had to do a little bit of defense, a little 5-on-1 there for a little second, but the Lynx do get back as they lead at 29-27 with 2.5 to play, as Swarzak from downtown yet again, no, as I would love to see how many threes he's taken here so far in this first half, as now Powell pulls down the board to Latham Jr. Jr. trying to drive baseline, has it poked away, but it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by Jacob Strong on the baseline, so the Lynx will inbound with 19 on the shot clock. And Latham, Turner, Powell, Freeman, and Crumble out there. They're going to have to throw it into somebody. They find Powell out to Latham, who catch it and shoots from the corner. No good. Rebounded by Swarak. As the Cougars now coming back in transition, they trail by 2 to your Lynx as we're just over 2 minutes to play. Strong with it at the top of the key. Sizing up Powell. Instead, he picks up his dribble now. They find, I believe, that one's going to be Nago, and Nago knocked that jumper down. They do say it was a 3, so now the Cougars lead by 1, 30-29. As Turner now trying to drive in left side lane, kind of got some body contact, no foul called, but he still finishes through it anyway, and the Lynx back up by 1, 31-30. Minute 45 left to play in the first half. Strong with it on the right side corner to Mayberry. Over to Nago, who stands at the top of the key, gets a screen from Mayberry, goes to the right side of it, to the corner now for 3. I believe that was Davis. He cannot hit. Rebounded by Turner. Minute 28 to go, and the Lynx coming back the other way. They lead by 1. Freeman with it, trying to drive in off baseline, puts it up off the glass. They will say it was blocked tipped instead of a foul. As Strong with it, takes a jumper in transition. No, gets his own rebound somehow. A no-look pass to the corner, yet again the left side corner, except this time it was Swarzak who didn't take it. Now they feed Mayberry down low. Kicks it out to Shepsky, or Nago, for 3 on the right wing, and he knocks it down. So again, good ball movement by the Cougars here in this one as they lead by 2 now as we're under a minute to play. 52 seconds left. 33-31. Lynx with the basketball. They trail by 2. Turner with it, trying to drive baseline. He does. Spin moves, puts it up off the glass and gets it to go. A mismatch there with Swarzak and Turner. As now we're tied at 33, 36 seconds left to play. Swarzak trying to go for 2 possessions here as he takes the quick 3. Doesn't hit it. Rebounded by the Lynx as they're going to have to get it across half court here. It will be Powell to Freeman. Over to Turner. Turner in the corner for 3. No, too strong. Shot clock turned off. 20 seconds left. Freeman trying to stop the pace here for the Cougars, as it was Nago who pulled down the board. We're under 10 seconds to play. Shot clock turned off. Nago has that one poked away by Freeman, and now it's into the backcourt. Mayberry has to pick it up. 3 seconds left. He's just trying to go coast to coast, and he'll lay it up in as a good Euro step there from Mayberry. Goes right around J.J. Turner to give the Cougars a lead at halftime by 2, 35-33 here at the end of the first half. Again, the Lynx played a pretty solid half, but again, got to keep the open shooters. You got to get a hand in their face. Otherwise, this is a Lynx team or a Cougars team that could kill you every time. You saw Swarag have a couple good looks along with Nago. He had some looks as well. Again, Shepsky, you know he's going to be able to take the 3 as well. Jack Brody, unfortunately, I don't believe he had very many in that first half. Again, for this Cougar squad, we saw him. He was kind of their go-to type of guy in the game back in October. So far, awfully quiet here today, but the Lynx, they trail at halftime, 35-33. We're going to head to break. Don't go anywhere. More stats and analysis coming your way when we come back. Your Lynx trail by 2 to the St. Xavier Cougars here at halftime, as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Me, a cat, moving in with a new human. It took a little getting used to. She has these weird games she likes to play, like this giant feather. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. It's almost like she thinks I enjoy it. But seeing how much fun she gets out of it, well, I guess it makes it all worth it. Humans.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking. I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
This is 89X WLNX Lincoln, a Lincoln College station.
All right. I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. So, who's going to do what? Flashlights?
Nowhere to be found.
Where to be found? Batteries?
Dead.
Great. Emergency supply kits?
Not packed.
No. What about blankets?
We have an old towel.
Good enough. Cell phones?
May not work.
Emergency water?
Not a drop.
And what about food?
Nope.
Perfect. We all know where we're meeting if we're separated, yeah?
The library. Aunt Joan's house. The bus stop.
Great. And I'll be waiting here wondering where you all are. Sounds like we don't have a plan. Who's up for mini golf?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information. A public service announcement brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the 89X Halftime Show. My name is Elijah Cox, and I'm joined with Dr. Denise LaGrassa, the lead faculty of the Contemporary Jazz program here at Lincoln College. Welcome.
Hello, Elijah. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here at Lincoln College?
Well, what I do is try to ensure that we have the most outstanding music program that teaches students how to create their own works, to perform their own works, to work on the foundations of jazz music, which is our American music, to learn the repertoire of the giants of jazz, while also thinking creatively about how to bring jazz into the future. It's unfortunate, but on many levels in this country today, it is a shame that we have this wonderful American music, this wonderful American, uniquely American art form, the only American art form, really, music, jazz music, which is not, I would say, more relevant, more in the public eye. So what I'm trying to do as a way to bring quality music into the commercial music of the future and the pop genre music of the future is to really teach students how they can really use the foundations of jazz music as a springboard to create commercial music that has all of the wonderful ingredients that jazz has in its historical context of how it became mixed with classical music, mixed with dance, mixed with theater in its evolution as an improvisational art form. So, and how you can do that in the 20th century is by looking at how we present music today in the pop genre, certainly. When you go to a big rock concert, what do you see? You see images on stage. You see media on stage, correct? We see dance. You see a show. You see a theatrical experience. So a way of making jazz relevant today is to bring that very much the pop formula of how and what you see on stage as an entertainment art form and merge it with this high quality music that is jazz music and intertwine original voices of the students today with the foundational jazz.
Okay. And I know that you like to give lots of opportunities to your students to kind of write and produce their own music.
Encourage them.
Do you feel that that helps them moving forward into the professional world as well, giving them this extra opportunity that they may not have in another school or university?
Right, so they can learn how to be entrepreneurs on this level so that they can take that entrepreneurial mindset to wherever they wind up, whether it's working for a production company, whether it's working in the live performance world, if you're going on tour as a sound engineer, or if you're going on tour to actually perform. How you think about, we just had Montana 300 here, you know, just talking with Eric Nelson today about how Montana has to bring this visual element into his shows, right? To then be look more like a headliner, right? So maybe our students end up working with professional artists and maybe creating Logic Pro music for them, or maybe creating visual media for them, okay? Or they're making their own websites. They need to learn how to market themselves. So if they create some film and video here, right, and they put it on their website, or they make their original music here and have the high quality 3-time Grammy nominee producer, Eric Nelson, helping them and guide them to their original music coming to the then websites and social media stages, then they're starting to get the word out with this high quality program that we have here as a tool for them to then march out into the 21st century world and become successful.
Now, I noticed that you mentioned Eric's credentials.
Eric Nelson.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your own?
My own. Oh, don't add. Well, first of all, Eric Nelson owns Eclipse Studios in Bloomington, Illinois, and he has been in business since the early 90s. He actually used to teach at Lincoln College back in the early 90s, and so now he's back here. And so I just want to mention that because now we have these Logic Pro pieces that some of the students have written, which will appear in our next show, Off the Grid. So I'm very excited about that. So they have that. Again, they're merging the jazz music, the foundations of jazz as an art form, as a compositional art form, as a improvisational art form. They're merging that with technology style music today. And we're going to continue doing that. And this is one way of doing jazz, right? They're all going to have different ways of doing it. But then to get them to think creatively of how you create show, how you create entertainment, they're going to have other ideas. And I want to encourage them to develop their own unique pieces, as you have done in this show, right? You're going to have more ideas. You know, they're all going to have more ideas. But my purpose is to help them craft and become the entrepreneurs and to take their visions and their creativities and take them to the big stage, or the small stages.
You just listened to the 89X halftime show. My name is Elijah Cox, and I was joined by Dr. Denise LaGrassa.
You're going to edit this, right? No.
Maybe a little
bit. Please do. All right. Thank you for having me, Elijah.
Thank you for being
Pleasure.
here.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cold time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it. You hear it every time you finish a meal and never feel anything. But if we were able to associate this sound with a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural response from you. Save the food. Why are we doing this, you may ask? Save the food. Because this ad is trying to change your after-meal behavior through brainwashing. Because food waste costs the average family $1,500 a year. Save the food. Cha-ching. And $1,500 extra bucks is like getting a pay raise. Save the food. Cha-ching. You're promoted. Which could pay for your child's braces. Save the food. Cha-ching. You're promoted.
Check out my braces.
So when you hear this sound, rethink your behavior. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit SaveTheFood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
150 years of helping students maximize their potential, 18 intercollegiate athletic programs, and a student-faculty ratio of 15-1. It all adds up to an amazing college experience. Where? Lincoln College, of course. Want an associate's degree? Lincoln College offers those. Decide you want a bachelor's? Lincoln College has those too. From business management to vocal performance and so much more. Don't overlook the opportunity that is Lincoln College. For more info or to apply online, visit lincolncollege.edu today.
We're back here at the University of St. Xavier. Here in this one, we have ourselves a good one, 35-33, as we are just moments away from getting this second half underway. The first one was very, very good. Again, nobody led more than 4. That was the largest lead for the Lynx. Again, the largest lead for the Cougars was only 3. And we had 6 ties in this ballgame and 5 lead changes. So you know the second half is going to be just as good as the first. Hopefully the Lynx can pull away in this second half. One thing, though, looking at the stat sheet here in this one, the Lynx shot okay from the field. Again, just 13 for 33, goes for 39%. That's not bad at all. 3 for 10 from behind the arc. They went 30%. That's pretty simple math right there. 4 of 6 from the free throw line. However, though, for the Cougars, kind of an interesting stat line here that they shot 14 for 41. However, so they did put up a few more shots than the Lynx did. However, though, it equals out to 34%. But the one thing that I had highlighted here on the stat sheet that St. Xavier just blows my mind, I didn't even know it was that many. They went 7 for 29 from behind the arc for 3 just in the first half alone. Shot 20. Never seen anybody take 29 shots from behind the arc in a ball game, let alone in one half. So that's half of their shots. I mean, that's more than half of their shots that they're taking are from behind the arc and in the corners. But like I said, they're getting their shooters open. It's kind of their strategy, and that's how they roll. Here in this one, they do lead only by 2, though. But just interesting to see that they shot 7 for 29 from behind the arc. However, though, the Lynx are out-rebounding the Cougars so far here in this one, just by 2, 25-23 on the glass. So they're doing their part there. And this one, again, both teams pretty much, like I said, staying out of foul trouble. There was only a total of 7 personal fouls entirely in that first half. We'll see how this second half goes as well. But only 7 turnovers as well, 4 by the Lynx, and 3 by St. Xavier. And both teams also have 2 steals apiece as well. So, again, it's going to be interesting, and it's going to come down to the end here. And this one, we'll see if the Lynx, however, though, can start pulling away in this second half. However, though, J.J. Turner getting back in the starting lineup. He leads the way with 11 right now for this Lynx team. He's got 11 points on 5 rebounds. L.J. Johnson, though, not too far behind him, has 10 points so far in this one. Both of them are the only 2 in double figures in the ballgame, as now they are saying that almost was a backcourt violation, as the Lynx will have the basketball to start the second half, as L.J. Johnson rather quickly will lay it up and in. 4-2. So we're tied at 35 here. So the first possession for the Cougars now will come back down the other end of the floor. And the Lynx keeping the same starting 5 out there. Same with the Cougars as well. As a step back jumper there by Brody. No good as the Lynx pull down the board. And J.J. Turner Crumble running the point as he bounce passes a bullet into Julian Powell. Give and go with L.J. Johnson. Turnaround right hand hook is up and in as Johnson cut towards the basket. Left the lane open here for the Lynx, and he capitalizes as we now take the lead 37-35. Here come the Cougars now. As Shepsky working very closely on Latham Jr. He somehow kicks it out to Sanitas, who knocks down the long-range three. So like I said, I mean, that's kind of been the Cougars' bread and butter all game long. They want to take and make the three, and they're 1 for 1 so far here in the second half. As Johnson now trying to drive in, draws contact, puts up a floater. No. Powell almost got the rebound. Instead, it goes into the hands of J.J. Turner. So the Lynx will have a fresh 30 right here. It's now Turner with it. On the left wing, cross the court pass down to Latham Jr. from the left side corner. No. Rebounded by the Cougars. And here they come now in transition, up by 1. 38-37 now, 18.5 minutes to play left. As Shepsky knocks down the three in transition, catch and shoot. And it's 41-37 now. And this matches the largest lead of the ball game for either side. And that is 4 as Powell hands it to Johnson. Johnson at the top of the key, gives it right back to Powell on the right side lane. Trying to give and go with Halverson. Turnaround right-hand shot. Fader is in, so 41-39 now for Julian Powell, who brought down 7 rebounds in that first half. The Cougars now with it. Halverson on the right wing, trying to drive in left side lane. Bounce passes one to, I believe, Brody. Give and go with Halverson, and he can't hit that one, as that one's saved by Turner. Turner saves it from going out of bounds somehow and ends up with Latham Jr. 41-39. Latham Jr. now with it, picks up his dribble as he finds Turner at the top of the key. Turner trying to drive in right side lane, kicks it back out to the corner. Give and go with Johnson. Johnson thought about driving baseline, instead back out to the right side corner. 12 seconds on the shot clock. He's now on the right wing, across the court pass to Latham Jr. 7 seconds now in the left corner. Trying to size up his man as he drives baseline. And we're going to have a foul as Latham Jr. trying to drive baseline. We'll see who they're going to give that one to. I believe. See, they haven't put it up on board yet. I thought he said Shepsky, but instead they're going to give it to Nago, who ends up picking up foul number 2. And this one, team's first, as Crummell has it now. Kicks it out to the corner for Johnson. Johnson for 3. No, too strong. Rebounded by the Cougars as the Lynx just trying to get back on defense here. Now the Cougars. Shepsky Whiskey, he takes a long 3, and he knocks down that one right there. So, again, the Cougars come out swinging from behind the arc here in this second half. Really fired up. And I'm sure nothing's going to change here. I've seen them all only take basically threes. As Crumble now with it to Turner. Turner with it, down low to Powell. Powell, right side lane, kicks it out to Johnson. One more pass to Crumble. Crumble from downtown on the wing. No. Good look there for the Lynx, but couldn't get it to go. That's the shot they're going to need here if they want to kind of stay with the Cougars here in this one on the way they've been shooting. As Brody now drives in, denied though by Turner. It's going to be batted out of bounds. So it'll stay with the Cougars underneath their own basket with 21 on the shot clock. And Turner, Johnson, Crumble, Latham Jr., and Powell on the floor here for this Lynx team. As Shetsky trying to finally throw it in as he finds Sanina in this one and making his first start of the year here as he's guarded by Johnson. Kicks it out to Brody. Brody from the left wing. No. The ball's tipped by Johnson. Ball's loose on the floor, and now we're going to have somebody who was out of bounds while they were touching the basketball on the baseline underneath the basket. So it will give the ball to the Lynx here in this one. So I had to have been either Shepsky or maybe Halverson down there fighting for the loose ball. Was just stepped on the out-of-bounds line to give the ball right back to this Lynx squad that trails 44-39. 16 minutes left to play as Freeman with it now. He came in for Latham Jr. as he gives it to Powell, back to Freeman. Freeman on the left wing, trying to drive into the paint. Instead, kicks it to Johnson. Johnson now drives in, right side lane, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Powell is there for an offensive rebound, but was pushed around a little bit. It's now stripped away into the hands of Halverson. And here come the Cougars back the opposite direction. In transition, now that was Nago who takes the 3, no good. Rebounded by Freeman. Trying to push the pace here, really run and gun type of team. Freeman trying to drive in, had Turner in the corner. Instead, kicks it out to Johnson at the top of the key to set up this Lynx offense. And Crumble in the right side corner. Johnson at the top of the key. He's got the basketball. Kicks it to Freeman. Freeman in the corner for 3. No. Powell trying to pull down the board. Instead could not. Brody pulls it down here. And I'd have to say this St. Xavier faithful who's sitting right behind me, again, they're yelling travel, and they want a whole bunch of calls here in this one as the ball movement here by the Cougars is no good. Johnson pulls down the board off the missed shot by Shepsky. Crumble with it now, 44-39. Lynx trying to come back the other way. 15 minutes left to play here on the last game of the year before Christmas. As Powell now with it, bounces one into the left side lane, gets a little floater to go, and Julian Powell kind of having himself a ball game. We're going to need him to take over this second half for this Lynx to kind of get going here in this one, as we're going to have a 30-second timeout taken by Coach Lepp. As the Lynx down by 3, it looks like Jacob Strong will check into the ball game along with Mayberry as well for this Cougars squad. And the Lynx down by 3, 44-41. And I'd have to say this is a interesting game. I mean, the only real reason by looking at the stat sheet here, and the Lynx are not playing bad by all means. I mean, shooting nearly 40%, they're good ball movement, and the people, the players that normally have their normal points still at their usual level. I mean, no one's really kind of slacking off here a little bit, you know, not having their normal type of game. But, I mean, you have to give the Cougars a lot of credit. I mean, took basically 30 threes in that first half, knocked down 7 of them. That's how they're staying in this ball game, and then they come out firing on all cylinders in the second half as the Coach Lepp squad's going to switch it up here a little bit and switch to a 2-3 zone. Mayberry now with it at the free throw line, goes to the left wing now for Nago. Has Brody at the top of the key, he finds him. Back to Mayberry in the middle of that 2-3 zone. He takes a step back jumper, no good, off the front of the rim and out. As Johnson now pulls down the board for this Lynx team, finds Freeman running in transition, goes baseline, and he'll lay it up and in. Nice touch there from the freshman, DeAndre Freeman, as he's now got 6 points in this ball game. As now Nago trying to drive in, hands it off to Saninas. Saninas at the top of the key, guarded by Freeman. Back to the left corner as he feeds Brody down low. That one's poked away on a bounce pass there by Crummel. Crummel picks up his dribble and finds Powell, gives it back to Crummel, and he's going to run it up this floor here for the Lynx team. So the last couple possessions here for the Lynx looking a lot better defensively, as Turner over to Crummel. Crummel trying to drive baseline, puts up a floater, and we are going to have either a charge or a blocking foul on Strong, and we are going to say a blocking foul, so that should put Crumble to the line for 2 free throws. Again, the officials had to discuss this real quick. Now they're going to discuss who the foul's on. It's either Nago or Strong. So they do say it was on Jacob Strong. That's his first, team's second here in this one. As the first one by Crummel is in. Here in this one, Tom O'Malley not happy with the foul awarded here on his guys, as Nago is going to have to check out of the ball game. And the second one by Crummel is in as well. So 2 of 2 from the line, as it's 45-44. And you can hear O'Malley just to my right here. I wanted to see what the official was trying to say for that. Is he's saying, well, if you have to talk things over, there might not have been a foul there then. And then he came back over and said, yeah, you're right. So I wanted to see if he admitted that there was no foul. As Sanitas for 3, no good. They're pulled down by Freeman, as Freeman just basically took it out of Julian Powell's hands. As the Lynx lead by 1, 45-44. No-look pass from Johnson to Powell, but Powell has it batted out of bounds after that one. Otherwise, he was going up for a monster slam right there. Him and Johnson on the same page right now. And only the team's second foul in that one. So we've only seen 9 fouls being called in this ballgame, as a no-look lob to Powell. Takes a turnaround jumper, no good. Johnson's there for an offensive rebound, turnaround right hook, up and under move, and he gets it to go. So Johnson, LJ Johnson doing his work. He's now got 14 here, but the Lynx don't get back on defense here, and a little miscommunication there as Saninas just lays it up and in for the easy 2. Nobody home. I think Turner wasn't on the same page there as everybody else as he bounce passes one to Powell. Powell working on Mayberry, turnaround right-hand hook, no good. Johnson wanted a foul. They didn't get one. Maybe that's the makeup call that Tom O'Malley was looking for. Give and go with Swarzak. Swarzak from downtown, no, but Mayberry with a good offensive rebound, turnaround right hook, and he walked with that one right there. As Mayberry with a good power move, he was trying to spin to his left, but as he was spinning, Saninas was standing right there. He was trying to get out of the way, kind of bobbled him a little bit, lost his footing, and that's what called the traveling violation right there. As now L.A. Bogan will check into the ballgame for his first minutes of this one, and he's been dealing with a foot injury on his ankle, on his right ankle, I should say. So he's been wearing a boot from time to time. Hopefully he's okay to play. First action here along with Latham Jr. also checked in, but L.A. Bogan saw a lane, and he drives right past his man and lays it up and in for the easy two. Almost too easy for L.A. Bogan, and we'll see if Lee Anthony can get things started here and kind of provide a spark for this Lynx team. As now that one's poked away by Turner, somehow ends up in the hands of Brody. Brody now to Jacob Strong. Strong goes up with it. Turner's there for the denial as it's into the hands of L.J. Johnson for the Lynx. Here they come back the other way. No look pass to the corner for Latham Jr. Takes a step back three from the left corner. No good. Gets his own miss, though, however. Kicks it back out to Freeman. Back to Johnson. Johnson the top of the key for three. No. Circles in and out and pulled down by the Cougars. 49-46 lead for this Lynx team. Just under 12 minutes to play as Jacob Strong now with it. Over to Brody. Brody from downtown. No. Short. Freeman gets his miss as he pulls down the board. Freeman wanted a foul. They're going to let these guys play. They're letting them be very physical here in this ballgame as Bogan will finish bringing it up the floor here for the Lynx. Freeman now with it. Bounce passes one to Bogan, still at the top of the key. And Bogan gives one down low to Johnson, and Johnson, there's going to be a foul away from the basketball as it looks like Halverson, Shevsky, and Nago all checking in here for the Cougars. Three of their starters so far in this one. They come in for Jacob Strong, Brody, and I believe Mayberry also going to take a seat as well. And still the same five out there for the Lynx as Latham Jr. is set to inbound underneath the Lynx basket as he finds Johnson. So Johnson, Latham Jr., Bogan, Freeman, and Turner. Johnson from the left wing takes a step back three and knocks it down as now Coach Lepp going to take a full timeout right here, but the Lynx have their biggest lead of the ball game. They lead at 52-46 here in this one, and it's been a good one so far. L.J. Johnson starting to heat up here a little bit. He had 10 points in the first half, but was awfully quiet through the first 9 minutes. Now he's got he's now got 9 here in the second half, and he's leading the way here for this Lynx squad. He's now got 19 so far. Again, shooting 50% so far from the floor as well, so that's a good sign. However, though, one key factor that the Lynx are really trying to look out for is Latham Jr. still not on the board yet with a shot. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. That's the only 2 points he has so far in this ballgame. I mean, we've seen Darnell Latham Jr., so far 0 for 4 in this ballgame. But, Latham's nearly a guy that averages about 13 to 15 or so shots per contest in each game. So he was my kind of go-to pick when I heard that Trayvon Tyler was not going to be able to make the trip with us. I thought Latham would have been the one to really kind of step up for this Lynx squad. Again, right now it's been all L.J. Johnson, who did not play against the Cougars back in October as the Lynx come out in this 2-3 zone. No look pass here as Halverson drives baseline. Thought about a monster dunk instead, trying to go for the easy layup, switched in transition, and he missed it all completely as it's 52-46. Here come the Lynx now. Johnson with it, puts one up off the glass, but they're going to say the foul was on the floor before the shot. As the foul looks like it's going to go on Shevsky. So that's going to be his second. Team's fourth here in the half. And the Lynx still have not committed a foul in this second half as well. Still sitting at 0 team fouls. That's some good news here for Coach Lepp's squad as they find Latham Jr. on the right side wing. Latham at the top of the key now to Turner. Turner thought about a three. Instead, kicks it out to Bogan. Bogan on the right wing now trying to drive baseline, and he's got a lane, and he just cannot finish there in that one, and that's kind of been the miscue that we've seen from L.A. Bogan. Just kind of going to have to get his feet going a little bit. He's got the opening. He's got the speed. He blows right around his man as a three there from Nago. No good from the top of the key. Rebounded by the Lynx. He just has to get back into game speed as Johnson pulls it down, and he's going to have a charge. Well, Johnson fell on the floor. One official called the charge. The other one called a foul. We'll see. And they are going to say no charge, that it's actually going to go on Shevsky here in this one. And the Cougar faithful not pleased here. And so, like I said, one official called the charge, called a push-off there on L.J. Johnson, but then the other one called a foul on Shevsky. Johnson did fall to the ground, but we don't know whether it was if he ran into somebody or if Shevsky really did push him. That was the call. So Shevsky's going to pick up his third, team's fifth here in the half, as the Lynx will inbound underneath their own basket. They will throw it into Johnson. Johnson, jumper from the baseline, 10-footer, and he knocks it down, catch and shoot right off the inbounds. And the Lynx now lead by 8, their largest lead of the ball game, 54-46, 10-15 left to play in this one. Swarak now to Shevsky, to the top of the key now, and Nago. Nago guarded by Latham Jr. as we're back into a man-to-man. As Saninas to Halverson, over to Swarzak, and he takes the 3 from the corner and knocks it down. So Swarzak only has 6 points so far in this one, both coming from downtown, as he took 6 3-pointers in that first half. He was only 1 for 6, along with Ryan Saninas. He took 7. He was 1 for 7 as Freeman drives in right side lane. Gets it batted away, though, blocked by Shepsky. In the hands of Nago. Nago give and go with Halverson, and he'll lay it up and in off the easy 2. And a little good ball movement there by game. 54-51 as Montez Crummel heads to the scores table, along with Jack Brody as well. Bogan now with it to Johnson. Johnson takes a step back. He's behind the perimeter, gets a screen from Bogan. Now at the top of the key, looking for Bogan down low instead. Bounce passes one down low to Freeman, who is cutting towards the basket, but stolen away by Shevsky. Here come the Cougars now in transition. And Saninas now for 3 from the top of the key, way too strong off the back iron and out. Rebounded by Freeman. Freeman a no-look pass to Bogan. He'll lay it up, and he cannot finish, as I think Bogan was looking for the ball instead of a lob, and Freeman lobbed it to him anyway, as now Nago from downtown. No long rebound, nobody there for the Lynx. He gets his own miss. Put back, no, still short, as Bogan finally corrals the board here for the Lynx, and they're going to slow down this offense on this stretch. Now, Freeman just standing at midcourt, letting this clock just run, as Powell goes to the scores table to check in. Latham Jr. now with it, goes to the left wing in Johnson. Johnson thought about a step back by Nago, and instead he's going to take a contested jumper, no good. Rebounded by Shevsky here for the Cougars. In transition now is Nago. He's on the top of the key, give and go with Shevsky. Shevsky from downtown, he's been hot. No, short. Rebounded, though, by Nago for the Cougars. And now Swarak tries to drive baseline, kicks it out to Nago. To the corner now. And I believe that one was Saninas. He gets blocked, though, by Turner. And a bad thing turns into a good thing, as it was blocked by Turner into the hands of Halverson. And Halverson ends up laying it up and in for the easy 2. As now that's going to be a timeout taken here on the floor, I believe, by Tom O'Malley, and it will be by the Cougars here in this one. 54-53, 7:57 left to play in this one, and we have a low-scoring game here, as again both teams coming in to this ball game. I mean, you look at the Lynx, are averaging over 80 points per contest. We mentioned that the Cougars over 85 points per contest here in this one again. However, over 75 points per contest, and right now this game is deadlocked so far. I mean, it's kind of been the game the Cougars play. I mean, they give up 84.2 points per game, and also give up or allow 84.9 points per game. So they give up about 0.6 more than what they actually average here in this one. So if the Lynx were smart, they just kind of need to keep playing the way that they're playing here in this one. Again, you know that the Cougars are going to live and die by that 3-point shot, as, again, they come in averaging 9 threes per contest. The Lynx just under them at 8.4 threes per contest, but so far, winning the battle is the Cougars had 7 in that first half. We'll see what the Lynx can do coming out of the time. To play as Crumble checked back in, takes the contested jumper as he takes a step back and trying to drive into the lane, and he knocks it down. So the Lynx back up by 3, 56-53, 7.5 to play as the Cougars get their chance to answer. Swarak now to Shevsky. Shevsky back to Swarak. He's going to fire from downtown. No, as LJ Johnson pulls down the board. And so interesting here, Swarak still throwing up shots here in this one, has only made 2 from behind the arc so far today. Turner with it at the top of the key to Latham Jr. Jr. on the right wing, gives it down low to Powell. Powell had the positioning inside on Halverson, and he'll lay it up and in as he turns baseline. 58-53 now, as Julian Powell now has 7 in the ballgame, as Brody give and go with Mayberry, has it poked away by Johnson, but we are going to have a foul as Johnson kind of reached his hand in there on Mayberry. However, though, that's only the first team foul here in the half by this Lynx team here in this one, as they actually are going to put the foul on Julian Powell instead of Johnson. So that's going to be his first, team's first as well here in the half as well. We're still only 7 minutes left to play in the ball game, so the Lynx doing a good job to stay out of foul trouble. As Shepsky from downtown from the top of the key, no. Julian Powell pulls down the board here for the Lynx. So the Lynx, you go on the road, and every road game is a tough one, and this is a Lynx team that's not used to having 58 points by this much at this point in the ballgame. It's Latham Jr. now with it at the top of the key, goes right around his man, goes right side lane and lays it up and in. Too easy there as Latham Jr. just went right around the Cougars man right there. 60-53 as we're just over 6 minutes left to play in this one. We're back here at the University of St. Francis, where we had some sort of technical difficulties. Next thing I know, I'm sitting up here talking, and Jacob Strong, a Cougar here for St. Xavier, was up here, kind of leaned his arm on the scores table and took out my power. So I blame Jacob Strong there for that one. It's 62-54, though, 4:45 left to play. We are sorry for the technical difficulties. Kind of hit something on one of my power strips and didn't turn the power off, just had a bad cord or something, and he found the weakness right there. So credit for that, as that one's stolen away there by the Lynx, as they have Latham Jr. running in transition, and that one lays it up and in. So Bogan to Latham Jr. makes it a 10-point game for the Lynx as they lead at 64-54 here in this one. Jacob Strong now with it across the court, pass to Shepsky. Shepsky from downtown, no. Rebounded by Powell. Powell trying to bring it up the floor, finds Crumble. Crumble now thought about driving baseline, instead backs it out and going to run down some more clock right here in this one. 64-54, now we're under 4 minutes to play. Crumble, bounce passes one to Bogan. Bogan on the left lane, back to Crumble. Crumble from downtown, wide open as he buries a three right there. And you can see it coming back to the Cougars bench is kind of frustrated here in this one, as now the Lynx lead by 13, 67-54, 3:46 left to play here at St. Francis, as we have a whole bunch of substitutions here in this one. As now Saninas wanted to almost take a crack at knocking out our broadcast yet again. I had to save him from that time. At least now we're aware of it. But however, this is a Lynx team that, while we were kind of messing around with that, kind of found their rhythm a little bit. It's more been Johnson and Latham. Latham has been getting things going here in this one. We mentioned he was 0 for 4 in the first half with only 2 points. And this time, now he's got 8 here so far. Again, along with LJ Johnson, he's got 21 here on the night. He had 9 so far in this half. Now has 11 to fill out his 21 points so far. So LJ Johnson has had a good second half as well. However, though, this Lynx team keeping the Cougars with that 2-3 defense, kind of still making them find that perfect pass and kind of making them second guess their stuff a little bit here in this one, as it's 67-54 now, as the Cougars will get the basketball coming out of the timeout. Now Bishop with it at the top of the key. Over to Davis. Davis on the right wing gives it now to Nago. Nago, he's guarded by Powell as he's going to try to drive in right side lane. Puts it up off the glass and high off the glass and gets that one to go over Julian Powell. So Powell has some fouls to give him. The only two that have a foul out on the floor is Julian and looks like Montez Crumble. They both only have 1 foul apiece, as the team only has 2 team fouls here in the entire second half, as they only had, I believe, 3 in the first half. They did. So we've only had 5 fouls committed in the entire ballgame so far for the Lynx, as they lead by 11, 67-56. As time expires on the shot clock, Latham's just going to have to throw up a prayer. He does. It cannot be answered as the Cougars come back with it, as we're at 2:45 to play. Brody now with it. Drives in. No good. He can't get it. Powell trying to pull down a board. Instead, it finds Mayberry into the hands of Nago. Nago now trying to drive in. Saninas give and go. Back to Bishop. Bounce passes one to Sanitas in the right side corner. He drives baseline, puts up a shot, no good. Johnson corrals the board, and finally the Lynx will take their time getting back up the floor as this final possessions are going to just start dwindling down here for the Cougars. It's go time. 67-56, and if you're the Lynx, all you're trying to do is just hang on from here on out. And Bogan, Latham Jr., Crumble, Powell, and Johnson out on the floors. Crumble with it. Takes a step back three, buries it. However, though, we're going to have a legal screen set. I believe that one's going to go on either Powell or Latham Jr. Don't even exactly, I think they put it on L.A. Bogan, to be honest with you, but they says number 24. But I believe Bogan picked up that one. Either way, it's the team's third as Johnson tips that one into the hands of Sanitas in the left side corner. Back to Nago on the left wing. Nago picks up his dribble to Sanitas. He's going to take a contested three over Johnson. No good. Bogan was almost there for the rebound. Instead, it tips it out into Latham Jr.'s hands as the Lynx will slowly just walk it up the floor yet again. Minute 37 left to play in this one. Crumble finds Johnson. Johnson wide open on the right wing. Instead, he's just going to hold it and waste as much time as possible here in this one. And the Cougars only 1-5 on their home floor bout. Could possibly fall to 1-6 as the Lynx, they have not played well here today, but again, able to get the job done so far as Johnson too strong off the glass there as he drove in left side lane, rebounded by the Cougars. Here they come. Davis now with it at the top of the key to Sanitas. Swinging it around to Nago in the left corner. He's guarded by Bogan. Trying to drive into the paint instead. Kicks it to the corner now, but stolen away by Johnson. Johnson and Bogan going back in transition as he will slam it home. As there's the slam sandwich there from L.A. Bogan. And I don't know what, if that just didn't do it right there, I don't know what does. But that should solidify the win here for this Lynx team as Nago takes the three. No good. As Bogan goes flying through the air, tipped out of bounds. They're going to sail off of the Cougars. And it's going to give the ball to this Lynx squad right here with 45 seconds left to play here in this one. They lead it 69-56. Again, the Lynx pretty much only have to get it across half court and take one more shot here in this one. And now they do. Crumble, Johnson, Bogan, Powell, and Latham Jr. standing over there in the corner as Trey Waller checked into the ball game for his first minutes here so far. He's going to have to take the option of guarding Montez Crumble. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Game clock at 23 seconds as Crumble just going to have to basically keep dribbling it around. Out to Johnson. Johnson from NBA land off the back of the rim and out. Almost knocked that one down. Shot clock turned off. 10 seconds left to play. Nago with it over to Brody. Swinging it around to Waller. Waller going to take the three or take it one step in and takes the jumper. No three, but does knock down the jumper right there. So good for Trey Waller as him and his teammates kind of let him get a shot off right there as he does in this one. As that is going to do it. That's going to be your final here as your Lynx come away victorious 69-58 over the St. Xavier Cougars here in this one. And what a way to end and go on Christmas break for this group of guys right here. Again, Lep was talking about how he wanted to see how are you going to end the first semester. This is still part of the first semester right here. How are you going to go to break? How are you going to spend your little 2-week break until we get back? And how are you going to spend Christmas? Are you going to think about a loss that you just took, or are you going to play hard throughout everything and try to come away with a victory as much as we can here tonight? So again, that's exactly what the Lynx are going to do. They're going to go into Christmas break. They are going to kind of regroup, refocus on a winning way, on a high note here in this one, and see what happens when we take on. And we're going to have a good opponent when we come back too, as our next broadcast is actually going to be December 30th. So 5 days after Christmas, the boys will come in back on December 27th to start their routine and get back into the shape of basketball. But going to have a tough opponent. We're going to see the number 19 ranked University of St. Francis. We saw them once already over in Fort Wayne. They took it to us. They're one of our losses here, but that was a different Lynx team then. We'll see what the Lynx can do now. Again, that's going to do it all for me. I'm Nick Jackson signing off here from St. Xavier University. It's been a great first half. Hopefully to catch you in the new year. And also,
that's all she wrote. This concludes tonight's coverage of Lincoln College basketball on 89X.